Before the Avengers met the Guardians, before Wakanda opened up to the world, there was already a boy who threw cobwebs and a family that would change everything. This is not a superhero story. It's a story about finding your place, about losing him, and about what it means to have a brother even if it comes engulfed in flames. Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four have one of the most profound, chaotic, and moving stories in the comic book, and no one has told it to you like that until today. A story that mixes science, pain, humor, identity, and redemption through decades of vignettes. It all started in 1963. Peter Parker, barely a teenager with newly acquired superpowers, was dealing with the loss of his uncle, economic pressure, and the desire to belong to something bigger. With the ingenuity that youth gives, he thought that the Fantastic Four could be his family. So, like every desperate and unfiltered young man, he broke into the Baxter Building. He was greeted with punches, force fields, and elastic arms. Instead of impressing, he irritated. He was quickly defeated. "We are a non-profit organization," he was told. "And besides, we're not hiring." It was a rejection that hurt. But it also started something. The first connection between Peter and Johnny Storm. They did not become friends that day, but a spark was born. Peter and Johnny shared more than they let on. Two bright young people with powers, trying to fit in a world that never quite accepted them. Thus began one of the most enduring relationships in the Marvel Universe. A friendship built on sarcasm, rivalry, and a strange but powerful mutual empathy. Because although Peter didn't get a job, he did start building something more valuable, a bond that would withstand decades of conflicts, battles, and tragedies. Over time, Peter and Johnny became inseparable wights in his own way. They were biting, arguing, competing. They were always there for each other, like brothers. In 2005, the Spider-Man Human Torch series reviewed their friendship over the years and made it clear that despite insults and rivalries, they had a deep affection for each other. The adventures they shared were as ridiculous as they were heroic. They faced together the Homochan, an alien race that wanted to turn all of humanity into a uniform mass. Spider-Man ended up infected with an entire civilization growing inside him. Yes, literally. Johnny had to do almost all the work while Peter dealt with his alien pregnancy. They collaborated to build the Spider-Mobile, a ridiculous commercial idea that ended badly. Peter didn't know how to drive. The car sank into the Hudson River, and the sponsoring company abandoned them. Johnny never let me forget that. They shared an apartment. For weeks, Peter tried to maintain a normal life while Johnny threw cosmic parties with interdimensional liquor, moloid children running down the hallway, and superheroes coming and going at any time. He was the worst roommate in the world, and yet, Peter never closed the door on her. Their bond was strong because it didn't depend on perfection. It was imperfect, real, like any fraternal relationship. They were there when Reed left for other planets, Mary Jane left Peter, and Johnny died, and when he came back, yes, Johnny died. It was in the negative zone, a portal was opening, and alien hordes were threatening to invade. Johnny decided to stay back and close it. No one saw him again. Peter didn't cry in public, but inside, it broke. I knew I couldn't fill his place, but he tried. In honor of his friend. That's how the Future Foundation was born. Reed Richards brought together the brightest in the world to solve the most complex problems. And Spider-Man, yes, Spider-Man, was part of that team. For his intellect, but above all for his heart. The suit changed, the team changed, but Peter was still the same. A guy who never gives up, who carries the guilt like a second skin, but still keeps fighting. Later, Peter bought the Baxter Building to turn it into the headquarters of Parker Industries. When Johnny found out, he burst out. They shouted, they fought, they destroyed half a building. But when Peter explained that he just wanted to keep the Fantastic Four home until they return, Johnny understood, because that's what brothers do. They keep your place, even if it hurts. And then came the One More Day saga. Peter made a deal with Mephisto to save his aunt. The price, his marriage, his history, his identity. No one remembered who he was, not even the Fantastic Four. But Johnny, I felt that something didn't fit. He looked for Peter. He confronted him. And Peter, through tears, took off his mask again. Not for him, for his brother, for his family. Spider-Man has been a part of many versions of the Fantastic Four. In one, he was recruited alongside the Hulk, Wolverine, and Ghost Rider when the original members were kidnapped by Skrulls. They formed a wild, unstable, but functional team because Peter always finds a way to adapt, to help. At another point, he was mind-controlled and ended up fighting the FF themselves. Ben Grimm had to knock him out. Later, they would be the ones controlled, and Peter the one who would save them. Because their story together is full of twists and turns, but it always ends the same, fighting side by side. And yet perhaps the most important moment occurred in silence. In Amazing Spider-Man number 3, Peter was thinking about giving up. I was young, insecure, tired. It all seemed too much. So Johnny Storm gave a speech at his school. He said, "Skill is not enough. Defeat is not the end. I learned it in my family." Peter felt that she was saying it to him, that someone saw him, that he was not alone. Sometimes you don't need an epic battle. You just need someone to tell you that it's worth following. Spider-Man has always wanted to be part of the Fantastic Four. At first, it was a naive dream, then a lost cause. Eventually, it turned into something deeper, in a bond that time, death, and oblivion could not break. Peter Parker was not a guest. He was a brother, a protector, a legacy, not because of his powers, not because of his exploits, if not for his constancy, for being there in the most difficult times, for laughing when all was lost, for crying without giving up, to be built even if the world collapsed, because the Fantastic Four are not just a blood family, but of soul, and Spider-Man is one of them, forever. Did you know this story? What is your favorite moment between Peter and Johnny? Do you think Spider-Man is really a Fantastic Four? Write it in the comments. Let us know which of these crazy things, tragedies, or ridiculous moments moved you the most. And if this video made you feel something, subscribe, share it, and activate the little bell. Because we're not just talking about heroes here. We tell stories that matter.